Hey everybody, I'm making this again because the first time the audio was non-existent. It was just totally quiet. So this is going to be about the New York earthquake that happened yesterday, and this is specifically going to be about how it connects to just some of some of my synchronicities. And if that's not what you're interested in, then no hard feelings. I know a lot of people are, which is fine. But I kind of want to add this as an element to my page because I have a lot of things to share about myself, and I think it just helps to open up more doors for people's minds to just start thinking about how divine all of this really is. And hopefully this shows that there's probably so much more to this than just like people with an earthquake machine or weather machines and stuff like that. So let's just get into it. The earthquake, and then Revelation 6:12 about the great earthquake, which I talk about a lot. It's going to be part of the synchronicity, so just hold on for that. The day of the earthquake, I reached 471 subscribers, and that was the first day that I reached that. And the prime factorization of 471 is 3 times 157, so 3157. 3157, that is the value of New York earthquake in reverse standard. I know that's not a popular cipher and people might be skeptical about it, but it's not like something that I use all the time. But I think the extra ciphers are there because it's not really black or white. It's like when you know that when you know that it's important and relevant to what you've found already, then it's in play. It's not just like there's no like right or wrong answer where it's like, oh, these ciphers don't count, those ones do. Like it's obviously the base ciphers are always going to be legit, but then when it comes to the other ones, I think it's one of those things where when you know, just when it comes to what you're finding. So this is one of those times. And yeah, New York earthquake 3157, and the prime factorization of 3157 is 7 times 11 times 41. So that's important because 7, 11, and 41, those are the 4th, the 5th, and the 13th prime numbers. And 4, 5, 13 is the 612th prime number. For Revelation 6:12 about the great earthquake. And there's a lot more to that. So the day of the earthquake, I posted a short, and it was the first time I posted a short on my YouTube channel. And I didn't even know about the earthquake yet, so this is the information that I shared. And it was about Revelation 6:12 and the eclipse, but the 612th prime number is 4513, like we just looked at. The 4513th prime number is 43,223. And 43223, that is the prime factorization of 9589. So from the eclipse to 9589, but going forward rather than backwards. So of this year, 2089, it's exactly 3,413 weeks, which is the 480th prime number, and earthquake equals 480 in Latin. I thought that was really interesting. I was like, yeah, I just thought that was that caught my attention. That's why I wanted to post about it. But then I found something after that which just like totally corroborates the relevance of this Latin cipher to earthquake. It has to do with this. And so I'm gonna share like a little mini decode before I get back into the New York stuff. This is about when the last time the Warriors won the championship, and Steph Curry, he was 34 years old, and it was his 13th season, like 34-13, the 480th prime number. Again, earthquake equals 480. And to add on to that, the there's a logo, the Golden Gate Bridge. Golden Gate Bridge equals 297. And Cody brought this to my attention earlier in the day, that the sum of divisors of 297 add up to 480. So that's just perfect. And he also mentioned how just all the things with Trump, with the earthquake, with it being in New York, it was like the epicenter was his golf course. It was the 297th day of his age. It was just like insane, but I'm not even like getting into that right now. So again, 612, the 612th prime number is 4,513. And when you convert that into the date 4513, going from that date to the day that they won, the same thing we just looked at, is exactly 480 weeks exactly. So what that means is that this was completely connected to the Bible. It is. most of the time I'm not really trying to sway people into believing a certain way, but things like this is 100% connected to the Bible. There's no question about it. Like, it's open and shut case. Like, nobody can debate this. So if you want to try, hit me up. But there's no way that you're gonna there's no way that anybody can debunk that them winning the finals, Steph Curry being like the main player, is connected to Revelation 6:12 about the great earthquake. And the next part is going to corroborate that. So that season, he ended just completely perfectly with 2,211 minutes, 2211. So the time of 22:11 p.m., 2211, that equates to 1,331 minutes into the day. And 1331, that's the ordinal value of Revelation 6:12 when you include the phrase Revelation 6:12 in the beginning of it. So that he ended that season right at the perfect moment to match up with Revelation 6:12, and it that day, and it happened to be 480 weeks after 4513. I'm sorry, like, if you are doubting me or doubting this at all, but yeah, you can show this to anybody, and this, like, if the Warriors winning the finals this year was connected to the Bible. That's it. And adding on to this, and this is where it's gonna tie into the New York earthquake and then my synchronicities and all that. So the study of earthquakes began in 585 BC, and the 585th prime number is 4,261. And when you convert that into the date 42601, like April 2601, going to that same day when the Warriors won the finals, the championship, it was 1,103 weeks, and that is the 180th prime number. So we're gonna look at this 185 right now and connect it to everything else. It's gonna have to do with this video that Zenith of the Alpha, he posted this very recently about the number 237. Let me move this up. About The Shining and room 237. So first and foremost, the way that it connects to this earthquake is with the 471 being the prime factors are 3 times 157. That's the second and 37th prime numbers. 237, room 237. You should go watch this video if you want to know more. He has been going really heavy on composite numbers, which we're going to look at next. So that's how it connects to the 185, because the 185th composite number is 237. And keep this in mind, that 185 plus 237 equals 422. Another important detail to add is that Jack Nicholson, he starred in the movie, or he was that guy right there, and he was born on April 22nd, which is 422. And looking at the 185 again, the prime factorization of 185 is 5 times 37, like 537, which the 537th prime number is 3,877, and bridge collapse equals 3877. So this is more of like theoretical, and yeah, this is one of those parts that's kind of maybe like a foreshadow. I'm not trying to say like for sure, but that's, we were just looking at the Golden State Warriors with their logo, the Golden Gate Bridge, and yeah, so I think you guys see where I'm going with that, so let's just move on. So again, New York earthquake equals 3157. The 3,157th prime number is 29,023, 2923. And you simply convert that into the date 2923. I remember. So from that date 2923 to the New York earthquake, it happens to be 422 days. So I believe that there's definitely something to that. Again, 237 plus 185 equals 422, and remember that 237 is the 185th composite number. Now this is where my own birth is going to be part of this picture, and yeah, so this is my birthday when I was born, and from this day to the earthquake, it's 11,869 days, and the prime factorization of that number is 11 times 13 times 83. That is the 5th, 6th, and 23rd prime numbers. And I just put this just to make note of it. It was the day that King Charles was coronated, and there is significance to that, but I'm not getting too much into it right now in this video. So you don't have to worry about that too much. But yeah, so 5623, that's what we're really focusing on. 5623 is the 739th prime number, which is the 131st prime number, and 131 is the 32nd prime number, and the 32nd triangular number is 528. So I'm sure that there's going to be at least one person or a few people, maybe more, who think that is a reach or stretch, just because you keep going. Some people think like, oh, if you keep going, you're eventually going to find. But I'm just letting you know that this really is relevant to like the rest of this in terms of like my age and like that 528 number. I'll be able to pretty much prove that this isn't like far-fetched. So the 528, that is going to connect to this great conjunction that was on 5/28/2000. So it wasn't the last great conjunction, but it was the one right before 9/11. And that's simply how you would write the date, because it was in the year 2000, so 00. So 528, and it's the great conjunction with Jupiter and Saturn. So keep in mind 528 being the 32nd triangular number. And so this is what I learned from Casey Jones. He's been helping me so much, and I appreciate it a lot. From the Great Conjunction to 9/11, it was 471 days. And again, the day of the earthquake, I reached 471 subscribers on YouTube. And 471, the prime factorization is 3 times 157. And New York earthquake equals 3/157. So like that lines up perfectly, going from this to this, and then that happens to be 471 days before 9/11. But I know it probably might at this point seem arbitrary that I just chose like the distance from that Great Conjunction to 9/11, but this next part is just corroborates why the synchronicity is just hard to believe, to be honest, for me. But from my birth to that Great Conjunction is 3,157 days, which that matches the prime factorization of 471. And there's 471 days 471 days from the Great Conjunction to 9/11. So this 471-3157 connection between me and 9/11 has to do with this Great Conjunction right here. And to go further, 5 and 28, the 5th prime is 11, and the 28th prime is 107. 11 times 107 are the prime factors of 1177. And so when you go from 9/11 to the Taiwan earthquake, which was 3 days before the New York earthquake, it was 1177 weeks exactly. So I just wanted to put that there. I know that that's a different earthquake, but it was 3 days before. It lines up. I know, and it was still the second over here. So I believe that's still relevant. But yeah, 1177 weeks. The prime factors are 11 times 107, the 5th and 28th primes. And now I have all these synchronicities with the 528, the Great Conjunction, and the New York earthquake. It's just mind-blowing. And obviously, like, we know where this event took place, like where this earthquake took place. So a lot of this is just lining up. It's pretty crazy. So the 3,157th prime number is, oh yeah, we looked at that. It's 29023. So when you go from the Great Conjunction to 2923, the same day we looked at before, it's 8,293 days, and that's the 1,041st prime. So now I'm going to show you how this connects to 9/11 too. It's going to connect to Revelation 9/11, the verse, and this is the 154th verse of Revelation, and the 154th prime number is 887. So when you add 887 plus 154, it equals 1,041, exactly like the 8,293 days between the Great Conjunction and the 3,157th prime number. And that's the 1,041st prime number. So that number is, I think, without a doubt connected to Revelation 9/11. And it's just, what are the odds of that? Like, we just saw those connections to like the Great Conjunction and 9/11 and myself, and this this date that I'm comparing to, it represents the prime number of the amount of days between my birth and the Great Conjunction, and it creates, or it's this amount of days which connects to the Revelation 9/11. So it's wild. Now, hopefully you can see that connection, because I know it's there, and when I saw it, I just like couldn't really believe it. And there's even more, so let's just keep going with Revelation 9/11, and that is the 30,852nd verse of the whole Bible. And when you convert that into the date 3852 to the New York earthquake, it's exactly 3,761 weeks on the nose. And I've talked about this before regarding the Israel-Palestine conflict. That is 3761 is the year of Hebrew creation. I learned this from 7.1, and I'm gonna review how important this is in terms of the other main verse that I talk about, Revelation 8:11. 37 times 61, like 3761. 37 times 61 are the prime factors of 2257, and 2257 on the clock is the 1377th minute of the day, and 1377, that's the ordinal value of Revelation 8:11 about the falling wormwood star. So this 3761 is totally connected to Revelation 8:11. Yeah, and I showed this as well. This shows further how the Great Conjunction is tied to Revelation 8:11, like how I just showed. The Great Conjunction is Saturn and Jupiter, and the signs of Saturn and Jupiter, they look like a 5 and a 4, 5, 4. And again, it is dependent on how you draw it, because sometimes like the sign of Jupiter could look like a 24. I know a lot of people associate it with that, but there's a lot of examples of it looking like this, like a 4. So I think it's for a purpose, like this purpose. So again, Saturn is 5, Jupiter is 4, and 54. It equates to 1377 in standard, like Revelation 8:11 equaling 1377, the ordinal value, and 54 also equals 126, like wormwood equals 126, like the falling wormwood star from the verse. And again, so yeah, this is the Great Conjunction. And looking further into the number 528, there's 5.467 hours from the start of the day to 5:28 a.m. So when you convert that into this date 5467 to the Great Conjunction, it's 33 years and 24 days, and 3,324 is the prime factorization, or what am I talking about? 3,324, the prime number is 30,839, and Revelation 8:11 is the 30,839th verse of the whole Bible. So really shows how 528 in itself, and the fact that it shows how like this conjunction, like it could have been any year. So since it just lines up, it lines up perfectly with the Bible. So, and this is gonna go backtracking to my birth and how this connects to what I was just showing. 22. Okay, so 2257 again is 1,377 minutes into the day, but that's 22.95 hours into the day. And when you convert that into the date 2295, from my birth to 2295 is 1215 days, and 1215, the 1215th prime number is 9851, and there's 9,851 words in Revelation. And I know that there's obviously different versions of the Bible are going to have different amount of words. So this is the source that I'm getting this from, and they use the Lexham Hebrew Bible. So you can see this is where I got it from. Revelation has 9,851 words. So that's what I'm using for this, and I believe that it's really important, this version, in terms of just what I've found with it, what I'm going to share. So converting this 9851 into this date 9851, this is something that I shared before. So to the day that Israel was attacked by Hamas is exactly 3,761 weeks as well, just like that, from the date that matches Revelation 9:11 to the New York earthquake. The exact amount of time, 3,761 weeks. And that happened to be my 32nd birthday. So that's that is why I believe that it, when I went down that chain to get to the 32nd triangular number, which is 528, I don't think it's random at all. And but that's all for you to decide. But I think it shows like how much more credible it was for me to look into that. And so going from this date again, my 32nd birthday, and the day that Israel was attacked by Hamas, to 2257 going forward, like 2257, it's 1,739 weeks exactly, and the prime factorization is 37 times 47, and that's the 12th and 15th prime numbers, just like 1215, the 1215th prime number is the amount of words in Revelation. So it's a huge that's a whole circular synchronicity puzzle, whatever you want to call it, but that all wraps back around back here. So it's really, really mind-boggling to me. But moving forward, so we just looked at this end date 2257, and going from my birth to that same end date is 23,861 days, and the prime factorization of that is 107 times 223, and that matches the date of when Israel was attacked by Hamas and my 32nd birthday, 10/7/2023. So you get that from going from my birth to the date 2257. So it's just the craziest synchronicities, and everything just every little piece has been connecting since the New York earthquake going to where we're at now. And it's so 9851, remember, that's the total words in Revelation, but we're gonna go from the year 1851, because this shows that it's relevant. So 9851 of this year to my birth is 140 years, 4 weeks, and 2 days, and that is the prime factorization. I mean, sorry, it's late. My bad. It's the ordinal value of Revelation 9:11, 1442, 1442. So keeps going. And furthermore, from 9851 of this year, 1951, to my birth is exactly 481 months, and that is really crazy because the original height of the Great Pyramid of Giza is 481 feet, and it connects to Revelation 6:12 because 481, the prime factorization is 13 times 37, the 6 and 12 prime numbers for 612. So like I said, it just keeps going and keeps going. And the 481st prime number is 3433, and when you convert that into the date 3433, from the New York earthquake to 3433 going forward, it's exactly 107 months, and earthquake equals 107, and my birthday is 107, October 7, 10/7, and the same span equates to 8 years 11 months, just like Revelation 8:11, so that's double coded. But I think the 107 is really like the focus of that. From the New York earthquake to the prime number of the amount of months between the amount of words in Revelation and my birth. Yeah, I think we're almost done. So again, the 3157th prime number is 29023, 2923, and when you go from my birth to 2923, it's 11,449 days, and that is the 107th square. So, and earthquake equals 107. So think about that, because remember that 3157 connects to Revelation 6:12 about the great earthquake. I think that's the last. Yeah, that's the last slide. So let me show you again how 3157, which makes this connect to Revelation 6:12 too. But let me show you how 3157 connects to Revelation 6:12. Here. So the prime factorization of 3157 is 7 times 11 times 41, and that is the 4th, 5th, and 13th prime numbers, and 4513 is the 612th prime number. So, and it's not even just that it connects to Revelation 6:12, but New York earthquake equals 3157, and I reached 471 subscribers that day, and the prime factorization of 471 is 3 times 157. So hopefully you guys are seeing like how wild this like whole puzzle is, and these synchronicities, and I hope it shows that it's how big this whole thing is, because I know that people like to try to come up with like assumptions of how this is all happening, and yeah, I'm at the point where like I know I don't know, but I know what I do know, and I'm trying to use that to my advantage. Hopefully you guys can do the same, but yeah, let me know what you think. Like I said, this was kind of risky, kind of scary for me to do, because I know people can take synchronicities the wrong way. I've tried to do it before, like on Instagram, and then people, they either just don't care, they ignore it, or then they'll try to call me like controlled or something. So either way, it is just a little irritating, but I know everyone has the right to interpret it how they want, but I'm hoping to I'm just hoping to reveal to people that, like I said, this is so much bigger than you probably think it is. Anyone probably thinks it is. So yeah, let me know. I'm probably gonna make another video about the New York earthquake, unless something crazy happens in the next few days, and then I'm just gonna have to make something about that. I'm so behind because there's so much information that I have on just all the stuff going on. I have like another video that I was working on before the earthquakes happened in Taiwan and New York, and hopefully I get to it. But yeah, we'll see. Anyways, take care. Have a good day. Good night. God bless, and see you in the next one. Peace.